Welcome to this week's video. This week I'm going to be comparing the Naked palette with the Naked 2 palette. I've had the Naked palette for a while and I've only just recently bought the Naked 2 and I wanted to do a comparison to see if you really need both of them. So that is what I'm going to be talking about today. So this week's video is also an entry for the Best in Beauty competition, which I am a contestant in. There is me and 11 other beauty YouTubers, and last week 6 of them competed and 1 was eliminated, and this week 6 of us are competing and 1 of us will be eliminated. So all you have to do to vote for this video is go to the link that I have put in the description below. It's Jen Loves Reviews video and it's Best in Beauty competition round 1 and it's called Do What You Do Best. So all you have to do is click on that link down below and then comment my name in the comments of her video, not this video, because otherwise your vote will not count. You need to go over to her video and vote for me. You can also vote for 2 other YouTubers which you will be able to find on her video. She's linked them in the description below, so you can go and check out the other contestants that are competing this week. So yeah, that is pretty much all competition info done out of the way. This, like I said, is round 1 and it is called Do What You Do Best, and I do a lot of reviews. I do a review every single week and they're usually my most watched videos, so I thought I would do another review this week. Like I said, I'm going to be looking at the Naked palette and the Naked 2 and reviewing both of them and putting them against each other so you can see if it's worth getting one or getting both of them or whatever. So I have both of them here, Naked 1 and the Naked 2 palette. I'm going to start by looking at the Naked 1 palette, which I've had for the longest. So this palette is the warmer toned palette. This has a lot more reddy browns, earthy colours, golds, those sort of tonal colours. This one has a matte shade here called Naked, which I use the most. It has a little bit of a dent in it. And I use this because it is the closest to my skin tone and it looks really nice on the lid, just as like a natural neutral colour. And then you have another matte here which is called Book. And obviously you go from the lightest to the darkest. So you don't have a matte black, which I'm not that big on because I don't really like the shimmery black. Gunmetal is really, really nice. I've used it in a tutorial before, but overall this palette definitely suits me and my skin tone a lot better than the Naked 2, which I'll talk about in a second. But this, because it is warmer tones, it brings out my blue eyes a lot more. So I tend to use this more than I do the Naked 2. All the colours are really, really pigmented. Although I have found, not just with this palette but with the Naked 2 as well, that they do have quite a lot of fall down. So I have to be careful, especially with the darker colours. The lighter colours not so much, but definitely with the darker colours. So the packaging of this is, I'm going to put it out there, it's not the greatest of designs. Whoever decided to put an eyeshadow palette in this like velvety dark colour wasn't really a very bright idea. This gets dirty so quickly, and actually I'm surprised it stayed as clean as it has. But like all velvety type material, it attracts dust like you would not believe. So it does get dirty very quickly. It also doesn't feel that stable because it's quite, it feels a bit like cardboard. Well, it is cardboard. It's cardboard wrapped in velvet. The packaging isn't great. It doesn't feel that sturdy either. It's just a magnet that holds the lid down, as you can see. So if I put this in a suitcase, I would be a little bit worried of it flipping open and covering everything in powder. So not the greatest of designs, a little bit unstable and does feel a little bit flimsy. So I'm not a massive fan of the actual packaging of the Naked 1 palette. Next thing we have the Naked 2 palette, and this has a lot more sturdy packaging. This is a tin, as you can see. Nice and easy to clean, wipe down, stays clean very easily. But I also like the fact that this actually clips open. So you open it up, clip it shut, it's not going to pop open like the other one. It feels a lot more sturdy, and I feel like if I put this in a suitcase I could carry it around without having to worry about everything being covered in eyeshadow. So definitely more of a travel friendly packaging from the Naked 2. If I open it up, the Naked 1 palette has like a sort of little mirror in the middle, If I show you, I don't think I showed you the little mirror. But like, it's not very big. It's an alright size, but it's not huge. The Naked 2 palette, however, has a mirror that is completely the size of the lid, which is a lot better. If you're travelling around and you just want to take this with you, it's a lot easier to have a massive mirror and then you can just whack your eyeshadow on the go. So that I really like. So like the Naked 1 palette, you get 2 matte shadows. In this one it is Foxy and Tease, and I definitely prefer the mattes that come in the Naked 1 palette just because I find they look a lot better on me. Foxy, for instance, looks awful on me. It's too yellow and it just doesn't look nice. Tease though, I have used Tease a couple of times. I would say it's probably one of my favourites out of the palette. It's a really nice neutral, natural colour, and yeah, so I really like that matte. So like in the Naked palette, you have Half Baked, and as much as I love Half Baked, and I've used it in a tutorial, it looks amazing on me. It really brings out blue eyes, I love it, but I just don't see the point in having it in the Naked 2 palette and the Naked 1 palette. I would prefer to have a completely different shadow in there. All the rest of them are completely new to the Naked 2 palette except for Half Baked, and I just don't see the point of having it in there. I suppose if you have one or you have the other, like you don't have both of them, it may make sense, but it just seems a bit, I don't know. You're supposed to be upgrading, it's a Naked 2 palette, but you've copied the same shadow, so I just don't get that bit. But yeah, I'm not upset to see it in there, I'm just kind of like, meh. So one of the other things that I love about this palette is Blackout. I have got MAC's Carbon, which is a much loved matte black eyeshadow. I love it, I really do. But this is amazing. The pigmentation on this is fantastic and I absolutely love it. It's so black. The blackest matte eyeshadow I have ever come across. It does, like the other palette, have a problem with fall down, so I have to be really careful how I use this. I have to really tap it off my brush so that it doesn't fall down underneath my eyes, and even then it still does a little bit. But I absolutely love this, and I checked online to see if I could buy it in the single eyeshadows, and I can. So if I ever run out of this, I know I can restock and I'm not going to run out because I absolutely love it. They do take a little bit of blending. They don't blend quite as easily as MAC shadows, but if you spend a bit more time on it, they do blend pretty nicely, especially together. So yeah, so if you have, say, the Naked palette and you don't know whether you should get the Naked 2 palette, or you have the Naked 2 palette and you don't know if you should get the Naked 1 palette, I definitely say that I like having the choice between a warmer and a cool toned palette. They're both really nicely sized, so they're really handy to travel around in. This is a lot more travel friendly than this one, but you could travel with this one if you put it in like a secure separate bag where you know that nothing's going to get ruined. But it's nice just to have the two together. I am glad that I bought the Naked 2 just so I could have that option and so that I could have Blackout, because I would never have discovered it if I hadn't got this. If I could have these shadows in this tin, I would be well and truly made up. But I can't, so I quite like having the two together. So let me know in the comments below which one is your favourite, and if you think it's worth getting two, or if you would just get the one of them. That is pretty much everything for now. If you have any further questions about either of those palettes, or both of them, or whether you should get either of them, let me know in the comments below. I will try and get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And that is pretty much it. Please remember to go to the link below and vote for me. You can vote for 2 other YouTubers as well. Remember to put it all in one comment so that you put your 3 choices in one comment over on Jen Loves Reviews video, which is linked in the description below. So that is all I have to say for now. Goodbye. Makeup collection, and I've not tried that much Monsoon accessorized stuff. These are, I think, the only things that I've tried. I've sort of stayed away from the eyeshadows and mascaras and stuff, but I probably will buy them in the future. But I have these 2.